Right, this one we are going to graph cosine, but we are going to do it in radians, not in degrees. So cosine, high point, 1 full cycle, 360 degrees, but 2 pi radians because we are doing it in radians. Pi, 3 pi over 2, pi over 2, 1, negative 1, and we have pi over 2 because pi over 2 is the same as 90, pi is 180, 3 pi over 2 is 270, and 2 pi is 360. Amplitude is 1, so we do not need to change anything due to the amplitude. This 2, again, horizontal shrink. Divide x's by 2. So this x is 0, it stays 0. This x is at pi over 2. So when you divide pi over 2, which is 90, by 2, you get 45, which is pi over 4. The next important x is at pi. You divide it by 2, pi is 180, divide it by 2 is 90, which is same as pi over 2. 3 pi over 2, same as 270, divide it by 2, 135, which is 3 pi over 4. And 2 pi, which is 360, divide by 2 is 180. Okay, so there we have the horizontal shrink because of the 2. The period, as long as we're talking about the 2, the period is the normal period, which if we're in radians is 2 pi, divide by that coefficient, which is 2, to give us pi. And if you notice, from start to finish, it takes pi radians to do that. The phase shift, take what's inside your parentheses, set it equal to 0, solve it for x, and you get pi over 2, which means you are going to shift everything to the right, pi over 2 units. So take the point, the starting point, which is at 0, move it to the right, pi over 2 units. It's now at pi over 2. Take pi over 4 and move it to the right. So 45 plus 90 is 135, which is the same as 3 pi over 4. Pi over 2, 90 plus 90, 180, pi. 3 pi over 4, 135, plus 90, 225, 5 pi over 4. Pi, 180, plus 90, 270. And then the vertical shift, that is that plus or minus number, that's the easy one. And move everything down 3 units. So this point that's at 1, we are going to move it down 3 units, so it goes to negative 2. This point that's at, oops, we're doing the red curve, I am sorry. We're doing the red curve. So this point that's at 1, move it down 3 units. Move this point that's at 0 down 3 units. This point that's at negative 1, move it down 3 units. This point that's at 0, move it down 3 units. And this point that's at 1, move it down 3 units. And then blue curve, final result. Hit your points better than I did. I will be posting another worksheet for you to do that is in degrees and radians. Have a great couple days.